What is going on, guys? We have made it through 1/3 of this NFL season. We are now in week 7. Today I'll be going over all of my expectations and predictions for this week's games, plus some reviews of each game as well. If you're not already, please subscribe, hit that like button, all that good stuff. Doesn't cost you a thing, helps me out a ton. Trying to get to 1,000 by the end of this calendar year. Let's get there, and I'll do another jersey giveaway. Just did one at 500. Elizabeth won that one, and she's getting her jersey sent to her right now. Either way, let's get right into this video and enjoy this new intro. Alright guys, so here we are with our record for this so far. Had a good couple weeks there in 2 and 4. This week was not very great. We are at a good record overall so far though, so not too bad. Going on to the schedule for this week, that Raiders-Bears game is not at 8:30. I did not fix that. It's my fault. Either way, Jaguars-Saints are Thursday Night Football. That's a pretty decent matchup. Bye weeks are Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, Jets, Panthers, and Texans. Sunday Night Football is going to be a good one. Dolphins, Eagles, and Monday Night Football could be a decent one as well. Niners, Vikings, the rest of it, I'll let you read through it there if you don't know. Either way, we'll get right into this video. Starting off on Thursday Night Football, Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars take on the Saints in NOLA. Trevor Lawrence has not been that great this season so far, not where we expect him to be. Same with that defense for the Jaguars. Not a great unit this year so far. They've made it work, though. They're 4-2. It is what it is. That's what matters. And then the Saints, on the other hand, Derek Carr's not been the way we kind of expected either. I think he's still capable of being a pretty good quarterback. I think he's just got to finish some games and prove it. The defense has been legit, though. Alvin Kamara has been worked in pretty well. Over 20 touches a game since he's been back. This one, though, I do see the Saints winning. I think Derek Carr steps out this game. I think this is it. I think this defense has been iffy enough, and Derek Carr is able to get in his groove this week. And it'll be a good one, though. It'll be a very good game. Moving on, the Raiders and the Bears, once again, not at 8:30 in the morning. This is a 1 o'clock game for the East Coast. Brian Hoyer is going to step in, assuming that he continues his play from last week when Jimmy Garoppolo went out with a back injury. I don't really know past that. I kind of think maybe there's a chance Aiden O'Connell plays. They just didn't play him in, reserve just since he didn't have the full week to get ready. But this time they might. Then again, Hoyer didn't look too bad, so they might let him play it out. The defense has been not great, but, it's the Raiders. They're not usually that great. And then, on the Bears side, Tyson Bagent came in for an injured Justin Fields. This game's going to stink with 2 backup quarterbacks. But, here's the thing. Justin Fields didn't do a whole lot better than Bagent at all. He was 6 of 10, 58 yards, 0-1 touchdown interception ratio, 4 sacks, and, had like a 37 passer rating. Not very good. Tyson Bagent, when he was in, at least made the offense keep moving because he can throw a football and Justin Fields can't. It's about as simple as that. So, yeah, not a terrible look for the Bears necessarily. Bagent might be, capable of doing something. Not great, but capable. And Deontay Foreman got the brunt of the reps because of the injuries to Herbert and Rashawn Johnson and everybody else. So, this one, not a whole lot to look forward in this game. Unless you're one of these two teams' fans, I do think the Raiders will win this one, though, at 1 o'clock, not 8:30 in the morning. Moving on. The Browns, the Colts. The Browns were able to take down the Niners with P.J. Walker playing quarterback. That defense is legit, clearly. And the Colts, on the other hand, are out Anthony Richardson for the rest of the year. He's going to have an AC joint surgery or something like that. Not a great sign for them. They have a bad history of shoulders with quarterbacks. If they're able to beat the Niners with P.J. Walker, I don't have anything else to say. And moving on to this one, Bills, Patriots. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs going to New England to play the Pats. Interdivision game, anything can happen. However, the Pats have been bad on every seam of football. The quarterback's been bad. The play calling's been bad. The coaching's been bad. The defense has not been great. I'm not going to call them bad, but they're not great. The running game has been bad. Everything's been bad, and the Bills are a good team overall. They have a good defense, they have a good passing game, and the running game is at least sufficient this year. I'm going to go ahead and just say a lot to a little, Bills-Pats. However, like I said, it is an interdivision game. Anything can happen. These interdivision games are always wacky. You never know what's going to happen. Either way, Bills should get the heads up and advance to 5-2. And moving on, once again, Commanders, Giants, another interdivisional game. Sam Howell is gonna, he's been fine this year. Not amazing, but he's been fine. But he's essentially a rookie. He played one game last year. Brian Robinson has been okay as well. It's the Commanders. Their defense hasn't been on par as what you might have expected. But once again, they're the Commanders. I don't know what else to say other than that. And then the Giants. They kept up their fight against the Bills, who didn't have a good week, but neither team really did. They almost won that game if it wasn't for a missed PI call. Tyrod Taylor, we got to talk about him for a second. He looked good enough in that game, in my opinion, to where you might have to consider starting him over Daniel Jones even if he's healthy. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. He's an okay quarterback at best. And it is what it is when it comes to him. I mean, his ceiling is higher than Taylor's, but that's just at a game-to-game basis. Daniel Jones is not a high-end football player. He's not going to be. I think if you're the Giants, you at least have to lightly consider, not saying do it, but just at least lightly consider starting Taylor from here on out until he proves otherwise, which may not be that long, but you never know. He at least can take care of the football. He might not be as explosive and, whatever, but he can take care of the football, and that's sometimes what matters, is just keeping the football on your team's side. In this game, I do think the Commanders will win and go to 4-3. Kind of doesn't seem like they're even possible to be positive right now because they haven't had the best season, but it is, and that's what they'll be. Once again, another divisional rivalry. Falcons and Bucks. Falcons have not been great. Desmond Ridder is just a backup quarterback. That's what it is. Bijan, I don't know why it's 13 Carm instead of 13 Carr, but it is what it is. The defense for the Falcons has been good. The running game's been fine, but that's what they do well. The passing game's not been there, and Desmond Ridder is definitely to blame for part of that. He's just a limited player. He's a backup in the NFL. He's not a starter. On the other side, the Bucks did have a rough week against the Lions. However, I think you can clearly say that, they'll recover after playing the Lions and going, I think they just will. Baker is good enough. This Falcons team is not explosive enough. I do think with how good this whole team has been playing, the Bucks overall, they're just a better team and they'll win this one pretty convincingly. Once again, it is an interdivisional game, so you never know what might happen. But just the chance of, being interdivision, it may not do a whole lot just because the Falcons are the worst team here. They are. Moving on. This is a huge game this week. Lions-Ravens. This is my 1 o'clock game of the week. Jared Goff, who had a great week last week versus the Bucks, so same with Amon-Ra St. Brown, is going to play the Baltimore Ravens. And this defense has been legit. They've been pretty good. Aiden Hutchinson's been good. The rookies have played well. Brian Branch, Jack Campbell when they've been there. Alex Anzalone has been good. Anzalone, whatever his name is. This team has been surprisingly good. And the Ravens are a very vanilla team. We were told, we're going to get this new crazy Baltimore offense, high-flying. Yeah, shut up, dude. It's been a crappy, vanilla offense with just nothing going on, man. They're not a flashy team, and they're never going to be. The Ravens are not that way. The defense has been good, and that might help them. But honestly, I do see the Lions winning this game. I think they are a good team. And I think this game is a real serious place where they're going to get to prove that. 29-21. Lions win this one. Moving on to the 3 o'clock section. Steelers come off the bye. Last time they played, it was against the Ravens, and they beat them pretty well. I mean, it was 10-17, which seems like a close game, but the Steelers won 3/4 of that game, and that's despite the play calling from Matt Canada, Fire Canada, 100%. The defense has been great. The defense is the entire part of this team. The stats don't really show it. But they have won this team 2 games for sure, probably 3, honestly, but 2 for absolutely sure. George Pickens has been good, and this week the Steelers do get some help. Coming off the bye, they're notably better every single year. Like, take last year, for example. Kenny Pickett was like the second best quarterback in passer rating after the bye week. That's a huge upgrade for them. Not to mention they get Pat Freiermuth back. They get Deontay Johnson back. That's going to be huge for this offense. I think the lacking of Deontay Johnson has killed this offense entirely, and this is going to be huge for them for sure. On the other side, Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp did have a very good week against the Cardinals. However, it was the Cardinals, and, congrats, I guess. What's going to tell me who's going to win this game is how much the Rams turn it over. The Steelers are very good at getting the ball to be turned over, and the Rams, Matthew Stafford especially, is very good at turning the ball over. So if that continues to happen, the Steelers will win this game. It'll be a close one, 22-17, and Steelers regain the top of their division. 3:05 once again. Cardinals, Seahawks, another divisional game. Dobbs has been okay. Keontae Ingram was the lead back, even though DeMarcado was kind of supposed to be the hype guy there. The defense is not great, but this is the Cardinals. They're the worst. They're the worst assembled roster in years, probably decades. It's a rough team. And they've been scrappy. They've fought to stay in games, and that's awesome. I love seeing that. It's made them watchable, and I really do enjoy it. However, the Seahawks are a better team. They are. But they also have not been playing amazing. Geno did not have a good game. He did not look good despite his stats looking at least even a little bit okay. He did not look good last week. Though Lockett bailed him out quite a few times. Had a couple huge catches. The defense has been pretty good as well. But, I mean, like I said, this is a huge lopside in terms of team talent. Divisional game could make some, headway, but Cardinals last week to a divisional team didn't really, do a whole lot either. I do think the Seahawks will win 24-19, and they'll get, their good footing in this division. 3:05 again. Green Bay coming off the bye. Only other team who had a bye outside of Pittsburgh. I don't remember who they played 2 weeks ago. A.J. Dillon finally got his footing in that game, though. 76 yards is okay. Almost 4 yards per carry, fine. Defense has recovered a little bit, but Jordan Love is just taking a drop down every week, it seems like. And it's just hard to keep up with. I'm interested to see how he replies to this after this bye week and this game against the pretty poor Broncos defense. And that defense is awful. They're not as bad as the numbers say because, 70 points hung on your head is going to last for a while. But last week they played the Chiefs very, very well. They did. And the defense did. If the offense did not, if the offense played 3 quarters as good as they did most games, they probably would have beaten the Chiefs. Russell Wilson looked awful. And Cortland Sutton had a great touchdown catch, but that's about all you can say about their offense. Either way, I do have the Packers winning this one. This is a winnable game for the Broncos as well. Like I said, their defense definitely stepped up, and the offense is much better than it has been, but I just can't give them a whole lot of credit as they've been really bad this year overall. The Chargers and the Chiefs. The Chargers had a rough game against the Cowboys. Justin Herbert did kind of sell it a little bit, but other than that, he was pretty good. Keenan Allen was huge in that game. The defense has been relatively good, and they've had over 20 sacks in the last 4 games they've played. Looked really good there. Mahomes and Kelsey had a good game themselves, but that Broncos game was not good. I don't know what about it was bad, but they couldn't score points. They hardly kept points off the board. Sometimes it seemed like the Broncos just got in their own way, but they escaped that one. It might be, it's a 2-score win. No, it wasn't. That was a 1-score win with some padding that got thrown on the last minute. That was a rough win, and if I'm the Chiefs, that's a little concerning. Yeah, they've been down this year. They're 5-1. They're great. And ultimately, that's all that matters. Congrats. You're 5-1. You've won 5 games out of 6. But at the same time, the games you've won have not been special. You beat the Jaguars when the Jaguars looked awful. You beat the Bears, the Jets with Zach Wilson. You beat the Broncos, who were awful. Congrats, I guess. I can't really give them much credit. And I do think this being a divisional game could be risky for them. I'm going to have the Chargers winning this. Divisional games can always go either way. And the Chargers are obviously the most competition the Chiefs will face. And if that Chargers offense can get moving, they could really beat up on the Chiefs, honestly. Moving on from this game, Sunday Night Football, a huge one this week. Eagles, Dolphins, 5-1, both of them. This is going to come down to either who scores more points or who turns the ball over. Those two things, obviously, could both happen. But either way, my point is, the running game for the Dolphins is elite. I don't know how. They don't even have the best O-line, but it works. Whatever they do, it works. And can Tua take care of this ball? The defenses are both not great. The Eagles is definitely a bit better, but not great. Jalen Hurts has been off this year, but he's playing a bad defense. And if this is a game where he can step up and rise to the occasion, they could run away with this one. But also, on the other hand, the Dolphins can pace anybody. So this is going to be a great watch. Sunday Night Football is going to be a good one this week. I'm excited for this. I do think the Eagles will win. I think it's going to be a lot of points. Neither of these defenses are going to hold up much. Didn't fix the records. 5-2 for the Dolphins, 6-1 for the Eagles after this game, I think. But I'm really interested in this one for sure. Moving on. Niners, Vikings in Minnesota. Yes, the Vikings have been bad this year. I'm holding on hope once again, though, because Brock Purdy was more than mortal this last week. He did not look great whatsoever. I really am interested to see what this offense looks like, especially if McCaffrey and Debo are both out, because that is most of their offense right there. Brock Purdy's very good when he just checked the ball down to McCaffrey 10 times a game and, get 150 yards off of that. That's a bit sarcasm if you don't catch on. Either way, the defense is very good for the Browns. Wow, the Niners. I don't know why I said that, but the offense is very good for the Vikings, even without Justin Jefferson. And if they lost to P.J. Walker and the Browns, and P.J. threw 2 or 3 interceptions, why can't the Vikings put up a few more points than 19 on them with Kirk Cousins over P.J. Walker and T.J. Hockenson and even Jordan Addison and, all those pieces? Why can't they do more? Yes, the defense for the Browns was able to hold them down, and the Vikings defense probably isn't going to do that, but why can't they outscore them? I don't see why that can't happen. I am going to go with the Niners winning this game. However, if Debo and CMC are both out of this game, that is a huge green light for the Vikings. I'm not saying I'll pick them, but it gives them a lot more hope than what does right now with them in the game. So either way, that is going to end it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like and hit that subscribe button. All those things help me out. They're free. Do absolutely nothing. It takes you like 2 seconds to do it. So either way, thank y'all for watching. Peace.